songs by chart position alone. We're looking at radio spins across decades, jukebox plays back in the day, streaming numbers in the modern era, and cultural impact that you can still feel today. We're talking about the songs that became the heartbeat of R&B itself. This is R&B Groove. Let's dive in. At number 12, When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge. Released in 1966, this song did something most records could never dream of doing. It captured the absolute helplessness of love in a way that felt raw, real, and almost painful to listen to. Percy Sledge wasn't trying to be smooth. He wasn't putting on a performance. He was bleeding through the microphone, and you could hear it in every single note. That organ intro alone is enough to stop you in your tracks. And when his voice cracks on that first verse, that's not studio polish, that's pure, uncut emotion. When a Man Loves a Woman spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It crossed over from R&B to pop at a time when that wasn't easy to do. And it became one of the most covered songs in history. Can't keep his mind on nothing else. With artists from soul to rock to country trying to capture what Percy did on that original recording. But here's the thing, nobody ever did it better. The song has been played on radio stations around the world millions upon millions of times. It's been featured in countless films and TV shows. And even today, more than 50 years later, it still hits just as hard. That's the power of honesty in music. When you strip away everything and just lay your soul bare, people feel it, and they never forget it. At number 11, Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles. Now, Ray Charles was a genius. We all know that, but Georgia on My Mind might be the single most emotionally devastating performance he ever recorded. This whole sweet song. Written by Hoagy Carmichael and Stuart Gorrell back in 1930, the song had been around for decades before Ray got his hands on it. But when he released his version in 1960, he turned it into something else entirely. He turned it into a love letter, a prayer, a confession. Ray's version wasn't just about the state of Georgia. It was about longing, about home, about a love so deep it aches in your bones. And the way he sang it, with that rasp in his voice and those strings swelling behind him, made it feel like he was singing directly to your soul. The song won 2 Grammy Awards. It became Ray's signature tune, and in 1979, the state of Georgia officially adopted it as their state song. Think about that. A song so powerful that an entire state claimed it as their own. Georgia on My Mind has been played on radio more times than anyone can count. It's been covered by everyone from Willie Nelson to Michael Bublé. You hear me? But Ray's version remains the definitive one, the one that still makes people stop whatever they're doing and just listen. Because when Ray Charles sang, you didn't have a choice. You felt it, whether you wanted to or not. Here's what made Ray's interpretation so special. He was born in Georgia, grew up in poverty there, went blind there at age 7. The state represented both his greatest pain and his deepest roots. Smile tenderly. When he sang about Georgia being on his mind, he wasn't singing about magnolias and sweet tea. He was singing about memory, about the ghosts of childhood, about the complicated relationship we all have with the places that made us. Number 10, Stand By Me by Ben E. King. Be afraid just as long. If there's one song that's been woven into the fabric of human experience, it's this one. Released in 1961, Stand By Me started as a simple idea. Land is dark and the moon. Ben E. King wanted to capture the feeling of companionship, of having someone in your corner no matter what life throws at you. No, I song was built on a gospel foundation. It's completely free, and it helps us keep bringing you these stories every single week. All right, back to the countdown. At number 9, Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. Now, technically, the Righteous Brothers were Blue-Eyed Soul, but what they did with Unchained Melody in 1965 transcended any label you could put on it. Still more. This song was originally written for a prison film in 1955. It had been recorded dozens of times before the Righteous Brothers touched it. But when Bobby Hatfield took the lead on this track, something magical happened. That vocal performance is one of the greatest in recorded music history. Period. The way Bobby builds from that soft, tender opening to that soaring, gut-wrenching climax is nothing short of breathtaking. You can hear every ounce of yearning, every second of longing, every heartbeat of desperation. Lonely riverside. And that production, Phil Spector's wall of sound technique, turned Unchained Melody into something cinematic. The strings, the echo, the space in the arrangement, it all worked together to create something timeless. Godspeed your love. The song has been played billions of times across the globe. It was re-released multiple times, hitting the charts again in the 70s and then again in 1990 after being featured in the movie Ghost. Each time it found a new audience. Each time it broke hearts all over again. Because love and longing never go out of style, and neither does a perfect vocal performance. What's incredible is that this wasn't even supposed to be the A-side. The Righteous Brothers recorded Unchained Melody almost as an afterthought, a B-side to another single. Bobby Hatfield sang it solo while his partner Bill Medley sat out the session. There was no elaborate plan, no grand vision. Bobby just stood at the microphone and let it pour out of him. The way he sustains certain notes, the way his voice climbs higher and higher until it feels like he's reaching into the heavens, it's the kind of performance that can't be engineered or manufactured. It has to be felt, and Bobby felt every second of it. So much. When the song was re-released in 1990 and introduced to a whole new generation through that famous pottery scene in Ghost, it proved something important. Beautiful. Great music doesn't age, it doesn't fade, it just waits for the next group of people who need to feel something real, something deep, something that reminds them what it means to ache for another human being. Number 8, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. At number 7, I'll Be There by the Jackson 5. Number 6, Let's Stay Together by Al Green. Al Green didn't just sing love songs, he sanctified them. Released in 1971, Let's Stay Together is one of the smoothest, most seductive records ever pressed to vinyl. That opening guitar lick is instantly recognizable. The groove is laid back but locked in tight. And Al's voice, it glides over the track like silk on skin. But what makes this song so powerful is the simplicity of its message. In a world full of uncertainty, let's hold on to each other. In a time when everything is changing, let's stay together. It's a plea, it's a promise. And Al sings it with so much warmth and vulnerability that you can't help but believe him. Times are good or bad. Let's Stay Together topped the Billboard Hot 100 and the R&B chart. It became Al Green's signature song. And it's been in constant rotation on radio stations for over 50 years. The song has been covered by Tina Turner, Seal, and Count. The production by Willie Mitchell at High Records in Memphis was minimal but perfect. Times are good or bad. rhythm section locked into a groove so deep you could fall into it. The strings were subtle, never overpowering, and Al's voice was front and center, conversational yet transcendent. He wasn't performing the song, he was living it, breathing it, making it feel like he was talking directly to you, promising you that no matter what storms come, no matter what trials life brings, we can weather them together. That combination of spiritual depth and romantic devotion created something unique in popular music.
In love with you.
It's why the song has endured for over 50 years, why it's still played at weddings, still quoted in vows, still used as the soundtrack to new love and lasting commitment.
Oh, yeah. All right.
At number 5, Lean on Me by Bill Withers. If there's one song that perfectly captures the spirit of community, of friendship, of showing up for each other, it's this one. Bill Withers wrote Lean on Me in 1972, and it came from a real place. He was thinking about his childhood in a small West Virginia coal mining town, where neighbors looked out for each other because they had to. Where community wasn't just a nice idea, it was survival. The song is built on a gospel foundation. That piano line is simple but powerful. The hand claps and the choir give it a church feel, and Bill's voice, deep and warm and reassuring, delivers the message with absolute sincerity. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on Me hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's been played at graduations, funerals, disaster relief benefits, and community gatherings for decades. It's been covered by Club Nouveau, Kirk Franklin, and hundreds of others. And in times of crisis, whether personal or global, people still turn to this song. Because it reminds us that we're not alone, that we're stronger together, that it's okay to need help. Bill Withers gave us a gift with this song, a reminder that kindness and compassion are never out of style. What makes Bill Withers so special is that he didn't come from the music industry. He was a factory worker who installed toilets on airplanes before he became a recording artist. He was 32 years old when he got his first record deal, ancient by industry standards. But that life experience, that wisdom, that understanding of real struggle and real community, it's all over this song. Bill didn't write from imagination. He wrote from memory. He remembered what it was like when his father died and the neighbors brought food. He remembered what it was like when someone lost their job and the community rallied around them. Number 4, Respect by Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin didn't just cover Otis Redding's Respect, she transformed it, she owned it. She turned it into an anthem that would define a generation. When Aretha released her version in 1967, the civil rights movement was in full swing. The feminist movement was gaining momentum. And here comes Aretha, demanding respect with a voice that could shake the heavens. That opening riff is legendary. Aretha's vocal performance is fierce, commanding, and dripping with attitude. And when she spells it out, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, she's not asking, she's telling. The song spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It won 2 Grammy Awards, and it became Aretha's signature song, the one that would define her as the Queen of Soul. Respect has been played millions upon millions of times on radio worldwide. It's been used in films, commercials, political campaigns, and protests. It's been covered countless times, but nobody has ever come close to matching what Aretha did on that original recording. Because Aretha Franklin didn't just sing, she testified, she declared, she demanded. And the world had no choice but to listen. The brilliance of Aretha's version is in what she added. Otis Redding's original was from the perspective of a man asking his woman for respect when he comes home. Aretha flipped the script completely. She took that same basic structure and turned it into a declaration of independence, a demand for dignity, a call for equality that resonated far beyond romantic relationships. When she added that spelling section, that wasn't in Otis's version. That was pure Aretha, along with her sisters Carolyn and Irma, who sang backup. That moment became iconic because it was playful and serious all at once. She was breaking it down, making it crystal clear, leaving no room for misunderstanding, and the way she delivered it, with such confidence and power, made it impossible to ignore. Jerry Wexler, her producer at Atlantic Records, knew he had something special. The arrangement was tighter, funkier, more urgent than the original. At number 3, I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye. There are versions of I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Gladys Knight and the Pips and others, but Marvin Gaye's 1968 recording is the one that became legendary. This song is dark, it's paranoid, it's drenched in suspicion and heartbreak. From that haunting piano intro to Marvin's anguished vocal delivery, everything about this record feels like betrayal set to music. Marvin didn't just sing about hearing rumors of infidelity, he lived it in every note. You can hear the pain, the confusion, the barely contained rage. And that arrangement, with its creeping bass line and eerie strings, builds tension from the first second to the last. I Heard It Through the Grapevine spent 7 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It became Motown's biggest hit up to that point, and it's been played on radio stations around the world more times than anyone can count. The song has been featured in movies, commercials, and TV shows. It's been sampled and referenced across genres. And it remains one of the most recognizable intros in all of popular music, because Marvin Gaye took a simple story about gossip and betrayal and turned it into a masterpiece of emotional devastation. What's fascinating is that Berry Gordy didn't want to release Marvin's version. Gladys Knight and the Pips had already taken the song to number 2 on the R&B charts a year earlier, with a more upbeat, soulful arrangement. Gordy thought Marvin's version was too slow, too dark, too intense. But when a Detroit DJ got hold of the track and started playing it, the phone lines lit up. People demanded it, and when Motown finally released it, it exploded. Marvin's interpretation was fundamentally different from Gladys's. Where hers had a certain resilience, a strength, Marvin's version was vulnerable, wounded, barely holding it together. You can hear it in the way his voice cracks, the way he repeats certain phrases like he's trying to convince himself it's not true. The production by Norman Whitfield was cinematic and claustrophobic all at once. At number 2, My Girl by The Temptations. In 1964, Smokey Robinson wrote a song for The Temptations that would become one of the most beloved recordings in the history of soul music and celebrations around the world, because My Girl isn't just a song, it's a feeling, a memory. a moment frozen in time that makes you feel good no matter how many times you hear it. The story of how My Girl came to be is pure Motown magic.
I've got so much honey.
Smokey Robinson wrote it as a male counterpoint to his earlier hit with The Miracles, My Guy, which Mary Wells had taken to #1.
When it's cold outside.
He wanted to capture that same feeling of devotion, but from a man's perspective. When he brought it to the Temptations, they were still finding their footing, still searching for that breakthrough hit. And at #1, At Last by Etta James.
They're over.
If there's one song that defines the sound, the soul, and the sheer emotional power of rhythm and blues, it's this one.
And life is life.
Etta James recorded At Last in 1960, and from the very first note, she claimed it as her own. That sweeping orchestral intro. That voice, rich and powerful and dripping with emotion. The way she stretches certain words, holds certain notes, makes you feel every single syllable. At Last is about the relief of finally finding love after years of loneliness. It's about that moment when everything clicks into place, when the wait is over, when your dreams finally become reality.
I found a dream.
And Etta James sang it like she'd been waiting her whole life to tell that story. The song didn't hit #1 on the pop charts, but it didn't matter. At Last became timeless. It's been played at more weddings than any other R&B song in history. It's been covered by Beyoncé, Celine Dion, Christina Aguilera, and hundreds of others. It's been featured in films, TV shows, and commercials for decades, and it's been played on radio stations around the world more than any other rhythm and blues song ever recorded.
And here we are.
Because At Last is everything R&B is supposed to be. It's raw, it's real, it's romantic, it's powerful, and it will never ever go out of style.
And then the spell.
Etta James gave us a masterpiece, and 60+ years later, we're still listening. The depth of this performance cannot be overstated. Etta was just 22 years old when she recorded it.
Along with Max and Karina showing up.
Thank you so much. Thank you.